What's going on YouTube, and welcome to Tech Heads. This is where I show you how to revamp, repair, and build really cool stuff in really creative ways. And this is my step-by-step tutorial on how to build your own homemade arcade using actual components used in traditional style arcade cabinets. Alright guys, so first things first, instead of building a traditional arcade cabinet, I want to do something a little bit more unique. Not that I have anything against the old school look, I just want something a little bit more smaller, that's more innovative for the design that I want, that can hold all my components. It'll be awesome for any man cave, and it'll be even cool to look at. Okay, so here's what I use to hold all my gear. It's an inexpensive desk that is lightweight, mostly particle board, it's small. It allows me to be a little bit more innovative for the design that I'm looking for. You can get this desk at any department store, I'd imagine. So after some planning and placing my components, here's my design. I cut out the top of the desk for my control panel. I have the holes over to the right where I'm going to put my speakers. And instead of using the bottom sliding tray for the keyboard and mouse, I'm going to have a 3/4 MDF board there that's going to hold all of my other components. And also, to spice up the look a little bit, I added a little bit of flat black to finish off the desk. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is the type of TV that we're going to use. We're not going to use the old school CRT or the CGA monitors that they had in the traditional arcade cabinets. We're actually going to upgrade that to an LCD screen. And the reason being is the CRT and the CGA monitors, they diminish in color quality over time. They're big and they're freaking bulky and they could be expensive. Versus the LCD screen, which is a lot lighter, provides better color quality, and they last a lot longer. Okay, so on the back of the LCD screen, we're going to be utilizing the VGA port. These ports can be found on any computer monitor or any upgraded flat screen. So the wiring harness that we have for our arcade doesn't have the necessary connections to connect straight over to the TV itself, nor does it have an actual VGA port onto the harness, so we would need some type of converter for that. And that is our CGA to VGA converter. Alright, the JAMA board that we're going to have sends a CGA signal, and we actually have the pins from our wiring harness that go into this converter right there. And that's going to send the signal from the JAMA to our VGA ports, and we're going to run the port cord straight to the back of the TV, and that's what's going to convert the signal from the JAMA to our computer screen instead of using the old school arcades. Alright guys, so next on our list is the power supply. You're not going to be playing anything unless you got some freaking power going to it. So the power supply that I have, it goes from 5 to 12 volts. There's a switch that's right here where I can be able to select the different voltages that I would have. As long as you're between like 15 and 20 volts, you should be cool. As far as like the actual input power, but the actual output, you're only going to need 5 volts. This does have a fan on it to keep it cool. I'm not going to rip the thing apart to take out what I need. I'm going to keep everything as is. I would suggest you do the same. So this is going to be another big ticket item. Again, you can get them real cheap on eBay. So just look up arcade power supplies. You can find them right there. Okay, so the next thing on our list is this sound system. Or instead of having the single cone speakers that they had back in the traditional arcades, we're actually going to bump that clarity up to a full-weight speaker. 2 of them, as a matter of fact. And this is actually going to bump up the clarity a lot more. Now with our JAMA board only pumps out in mono, so we really can't expect too much, but at least the clarity will be a lot better with upgraded speaker systems. Okay, so the next thing we're going to need is a control panel. This is where your control panel overlay will go, your first and second player, your joysticks, your buttons, and all the controls that's going to be in the back. This particular component is going to sit right on top of the desk where I made that huge hole earlier. And later on in the series, I'm going to go over exactly how I built the control panel overlay as well, so be sure to tune in for that. And yes, I know it's a Mortal Kombat 2 control panel overlay, but I didn't find any Shogun Warriors overlays. Don't hate. Okay, so the next thing on our list is the JAMA wiring harness. Now, those of you that know like the old school systems like the Nintendo, Genesis, SNES, whichever, would notice that the pins like this are exactly the type that you would slide the games in if you happen to take one apart. So this part right here is how we're going to actually put it onto the JAMA itself. And there is a particular way that you have to do that, so I'll be sure to tell you guys the exact way to be able to put that on. And like I said before, with the CGA to VGA converter, there's a port that's on here that fits exactly where the CGA 5-pin component goes, that'll be able to convert the signal from the JAMA to the VGA port using this particular connection right here. So any newer JAMA wiring harnesses have this capability. So if you do have like an older school arcade or something like that, I would seriously suggest to upgrade to your newer JAMA wiring harnesses. So I'm going to also go over exactly what each pin does, where everything goes, and how to properly connect it to your JAMA board. Okay, so last but not least, this is the JAMA board itself, or the PCB board, or printed circuit board if you want to be too technical about it. Alright, this is going to be the actual game, the actual game that you are actually wanting to play. Now, you have Pac-Man, you have Galaga, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, whichever. They all the arcade cabinets, they have these particular boards that are in it. My game of choice is Shogun Warriors. I happen to be a big fan. I used to play this game back in the 90s. It brought back a lot of memories. The game that I played though was what they called Fujiyama Buster. It's the Japanese version of Shogun Warriors. But this is the American version. So you can be able to find these online at eBay for like real inexpensive, depending on the game. This one was like 30 some odd dollars, like 30 to 35. I don't understand why it was so cheap, nor do I not understand why it never made it to a console. I thought for sure it was going to go to like a SNK franchise or something like that, but it's made by Kaneko, or go over to like a Neo Geo or something like that. Alright guys, well that's it for this episode. Please check out my next video where I go over all the components on the JAMA board itself and the JAMA wiring harness. This is going to be where I teach you how to hook it up correctly, what each individual pin does, and to hook up the CGA to VGA converter as well. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, tips, or anything else you want me to try, or whatever the case might be, leave them in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to get to them on the next video. Thank you so much, and have a great one. Well, I bet you're probably thinking, it's like, what does Mortal Kombat 2 have to do with Shogun Warriors? And the answer is, not a damn thing. The Shogun Warriors control panel overlay, or the CPO, which is what this actual vinyl part is very, very, very hard to come by. Like, I couldn't freaking find it. Welcome to Tech Heads. And this is where I show you how to build... Shit. What's going on, YouTube? What's going on? I don't know. And this is my... This, and that, and this. This is my intro on how to build your own homemade arcade using actual components used in traditional style arcade cabinets. Because I used twice. And that's okay, because we can do that because we're cool like that. What can I say that before? Why is it so hard? And this is my intro on how to build your own homemade arcade using actual You better use this shit. Can't get this at no ITT Tech.